Today I want to talk to you as a business owner about updating your business strategy for the new reality that we live in. So today, and especially in the last several years, we've been faced with not being able to find workers, having issues in supply chain, and just trying to stay even with where we were before, much less grow. So what are some ways that some very successful businesses are using to get through this? Let's take the issue of supply chain. Supply chain has been caused because so many companies got their supplies sourced through, say, China, or at least out of the country. And they found that they could not get the supply that they needed in order to go ahead and put it into their parts to be able to sell to their customers. So today, many things are being brought back over into the United States to suppliers who are going to work at supplying people like you or companies like you to be able to do your product. So this is essential, I think, that you have many supply chains, and they could be in this country or in various other countries. But we have to make sure that whatever we do is flexible. So I do see a lot of companies who are doing that, or they are going to other types of competitors that may be in their business who have excess capacity, and they're looking at how do I bring in the right machinery and equipment in order to be able to produce those parts that are going to keep your business not only solvent but growing. So you have to be very flexible, and you have to be looking for what are the ways we can do this. The go-to ways to do it in the past may not work, so we have to look for new things. Customer interaction, it used to be something where you go out and you sell, they give you money, and you're done. Now we have to create that flexibility with the customer. They become part of the team almost. We're looking at what do they really need? How do we make their life easier? How can they source different things that are going to be able to make us be able to do on-time delivery? So there is a lot more interaction that I see successful companies doing with their customer base than they ever did before. It's no longer just that transaction and done. We're looking at creating for the long term that relationship with that customer. So another thing is cash is king. I know this is saying the obvious, but we have to make sure that we get paid within a reasonable period of time. Reasonable for you might be 30 to 45 days. The smaller company generally requires that extra cash flow in order to pay all of their bills timely. So the larger companies may not care. So if you do business with a larger company, you have to negotiate those terms in order for you to be cash flow solvent and be able to pay your bills and thrive. Another thing is using remote workers. Many companies have gone to remote workers over the last couple of years and now are having trouble having those people come back to work. If they are essential workers to what you make, what service you provide, or whatever, you have to find ways of enticing those people to come back in order to have you be able to produce the best product or service that you offer. So this is an issue. Another issue is cyber. Cyber has been the bane of everyone's existence. And I will say a couple of things just to be short. One is make sure you check your cyber insurance coverage. So work with an expert, because what you normally get in your general liability policy is not adequate for you. Most of the time they exclude fraudulent takings of your property. So you're thinking you're getting one thing, but you're really not. You have to pay extra for a separate standalone policy that's going to cover that. You also should look at business interruption insurance so that you make sure that you have, if you get shut down because of ransomware, that you're not going to be losing your shirt because you don't have this type of insurance. Also, consider using a cyber expert to evaluate and to train your team so that you don't have problems that are caused by inadvertence. people that may pretend to be the boss and say, oh, go ahead and send wire transfer this money to this account right away. I'm stuck in a meeting, and so go do it. And they do it. So these are things that, you have to have those checks and balances that are built in, and you need to hire that cyber expert that's going to do that. So this is a different world, and we have to operate in it differently as business people. And we want the best result. We want to keep growing, and we don't want to end up in these roadblocks. I don't want you to end up being a newspaper story. So please consider this very carefully. It's very important. And feel free to give us a call at 630-756-1160 if you have any questions, or you need to have those experts that you don't have on your team now to be able to do some of these things for you. We'd love to be of help to you.